With the hustle and bustle of everyday life, finding time to focus on your fitness and your mental well-being, it can be a challenge, especially for athletes who are really pushing their bodies to the limit. But yoga could be the secret to taking your fitness to the next level. So here to show us how they do that at Yoga 6, we have a couple of lead instructors here with us. We have Melanie Latrache and Angelina Fox. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, we've all been watching these athletes at their prime doing all of these amazing feats. How does yoga play into that? How could that be a good cross-training tool?
Yoga is a great tool for athletes because it helps with flexibility, endurance, strength, and balance, and those are all super critical when you're an athlete. It also helps with breathing, and which can help reduce stress and anxiety so that you can stay more focused on what you're doing and really perform at a top level.
Because when we were does yoga, is that a good tool to teach you to be calm in some of those high stress moments?
Exactly, yeah. And we use a lot of breath work in yoga, which is also a super wonderful tool for really anybody, but especially for athletes, because it helps create greater lung capacity. So especially for those that have the high, you know, sort of cardio exercise, exercises and things like that, it really helps them breathe a little bit more evenly and more efficiently, but it also helps them keep the heart rate at a good pace so that they don't overdo it. Melanie, how does Yoga 6, how do you differentiate yourselves from other studios that are out there?
Well, we have about 250 yoga studios across the country. We are individually owned and operated, and we have 3 studios in our area. We have Kingstown, South Alexandria, and our newly opened studio in Arlington Courthouse. What we offer is very special because it's always accessible, inclusive, and just offers energetic classes for everybody.
Where on the spectrum of level of yoga do you have to be to come walk into a Yoga 6 class? Can you be a beginner?
Well, you can have beginner through advanced, because we are all accessible. We have 6 different types of classes at Yoga 6. We would start with a 101, move into a slow flow, a restore class, sculpt and flow, and then we have 2 a little bit more energetic classes called Y6 Hot and Y6 Power. I would recommend all new people coming to either a Y6 101 or a restore. Great place to start, and then you just progress from there.
Yeah, until you get to where you're sweating the whole time and doing all the unbelievable yoga poses. There are some poses that you've told me that are a little bit better for athletes who are doing those high training, high intense workouts. What would you recommend are some of the poses that they should be doing?
Well, Warrior 2 is a pretty common yoga pose that we see a lot, and it's great for building leg strength and opening up the chest and arms and things like that. So it's also accessible for anybody to do at home. You just step your feet wide.
I'll do it with you.
Yeah, great. You can turn. Your front foot will point forward, and your back foot will point 90 degrees opposite. And then exhale, bend the front knee so it's on top of your ankle, and inhale, arms out parallel as you look over your front arm.
We can just do the rest of the interview like this.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So this is a great one to start with.
And a pretty standard yoga
This
pose,
one you will see in almost every yoga vinyasa type class.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Where should we go from there?
Yeah. Well, we can do a lunge, so you can step your feet together, and we'll do our other side. We're all about creating balance in yoga, right? So we'll bring our left foot forward, and this time all 10 toes will point to the front. So nice deep bend in the front knee, and then inhale, arms up over your head. So again, really good for building strength in the legs, but also this one's really nice for stretching the front of the back thigh, which is really helpful, because especially if you're like a runner or a cyclist or something like that, you really use those hip flexors, so it's nice to get that to open.
They're doing all of this every day, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, and one more? You have
one more? Yeah, so balancing is always really important. So tree pose, also very common. You stand on one foot, you can choose whichever one. Hands can come to your hips, that's pretty stable, or hands at the chest, doesn't matter. And then turn one foot out so that the heel slides into the arch. And this is a great place to start, just to kind of work on balance, or the foot can slide in like a little kickstand.
As you keep going.
Or it can slide all the way up your leg.
Keep trying our balance. I'll remind you there are several Yoga 6 locations here in the DMV. You can go to yoga6.com to find the location that is closest to you. Thank you all for being